Love Nation, this is Nina. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has been coming to my channel. Like this video, share this video, and hit that notification bell so you guys know when I drop my next one. You guys, we have some breaking news. And yes, before I get into this, I will be reading through the Tyler Perry lawsuit document. So please be on the lookout for those videos. They will be coming either tonight or tomorrow morning. Right now, we will be discussing this breaking news with Fat Joe. Yes, rapper Fat Joe. And Roc Nation is now being involved in a $20 million lawsuit involving how he was treated on his label, as well as some things that happened with some underage people. I'm just going to be skimming through this right now. I will be reading this in full later when I get all of the documents. And this quick document check that I'm showing you guys is from the DiddyDocket.com. Again, go to DiddyDocket.com website so you guys can view even more of these pages. And I will be covering this lawsuit too. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. And here we go. I will be reading through this a little bit. And this is a preliminary statement. And it's basically saying that the actions arises from a calculated, sustained, and multi-layered exploitation of a creative partner by an internationally recognized entertainer, aided by an extensive network of associates, corporate entities operating in concert to defraud, intimidate, and financially exploit plaintiff. And again, I believe that this is his Fat Joe's former hype man. Now let's just get again straight into this. For more than 16 years, plaintiff Terrence Dixon, aka TA, who will be referred to as TA in the documents, dedicated his talent, labor, and loyalty to defendant Joseph Antonio Cartagena, professionally known as Fat Joe, so we'll be calling Joseph Antonio Fat Joe in this document. During that period, plaintiff acted not only as Fat Joe's hype man, but also contributed as lyricist, background vocals, security team member, and creative collaborator. Despite plaintiff's integral contributions, defendant Fat Joe systematically excluded him from fair compensation, proper attribution, and substantial royalties and profits generated from his creative team. Instead, plaintiff was consistently underpaid, denied songwriting credits, and deliberately concealed from royalties and back-end compensation. Plaintiff TA, who again is Dixon, contributed lyrics, vocals, and creative direction to numerous commercially successful songs, performed and monetized by defendant Fat Joe, including but not limited to hits, Congratulations, Ice Cream, and Money Over 304s. Dixon's creative fingerprints, distinctive voice, and stage presence are embedded in multiple critically acclaimed and commercially lucrative albums from which defendant Fat Joe continues to profit without recognition or fair compensation to plaintiff. Defendant Fat Joe exploitation extended beyond financial fraud. He employed his industry influence and power dynamics to subject plaintiff TA to psychological coercion and economic control, forcing plaintiff into humiliating situations, including SA, adult acts performed under duress and surveillance, accompanied by threats of abandonment in foreign countries if plaintiff refuse compliance. And again, you guys, we are just skimming through this. I will be going further into detail with this. I just wanted to show some of the things that Fat Joe is now being sued for, and the Roc Nation, engagement into this lawsuit. And you guys know Roc Nation is Jay-Z. And let's continue. And again, we'll just be skimming through this for now, just to give you guys an idea. Defendant Fat Joe deliberately withheld travel accommodations, misappropriated per diem payments, and exploited plaintiff financial dependence and professional loyalty to ensure submission, silence, and domination. Assistant defendant Fat Joe in maintaining his criminal enterprise were key associates and enforcers, including defendant Pistol Pete Torres, and defendant Rich Player. I can't even pronounce that. Joe Prator. Torrance and Joe Prator, excuse me if I mispronounced Joe Prator, actively engaged in physical threats, VA, and intimidation tactics on Fat Joe's explicit instructions, sustaining a climate of fear and coercion against plaintiff and others who challenged enterprise control. Defendants Erica Juliana Moriella further facilitated Fat Joe's fraudulent schemes through unauthorized legal representation, fraudulent corporate filings, and the creation of deceptive corporate structures that enabled the concealment and diversion of proceeds owed to plaintiff and the laundering of illicit funds. I am going to stop right there because I do want to bring this to the forefront. I think that by that statement alone, there's definitely going to be more people pulled into this lawsuit. And again, Roc Nation was one of the entities that is being incorporated into this lawsuit. So there is definitely going to be Section 13 near the bottom. No, you know what? I'll start with 12. Slate Incorporated operated as a central financial conduit, systematically concealing illicit proceeds. At the same time, Sneaker Addict Touring LLC fraudulently secured federal Paycheck Protection Program loans, PPP, by falsifying business activities and diverting federal funds into the enterprise. Again, I'm going to stop right there. If he is outing them about using a PPP loan in a fraudulent manner, and I've done a few videos about the PPP situation, they are definitely going to come after you. So him exposing this, again, I mean, just outside of his own lawsuit, the PPP allegations can definitely get somebody locked up for several years. A lot of people have been getting locked up for this PPP situation. Continuing, now we're on 13. Defendant Roc Nation LLC, the current management and representative entity for defendant Fat Joe, knowingly participated in concealing, transferring, and manipulating plaintiff's authorship and royalty interests. Roc Nation deliberately facilitated Fat Joe's unlawful conduct by filing a meritless lawsuit against plaintiff and his counsel to intimidate, harass, and obstruct plaintiff's legitimate claims against Fat Joe and his co-defendants. Roc Nation, through its CEO, Desiree Perez, extracted 10% of all revenue generated by defendant Fat Joe and his associates' businesses, including through joint management of business records, oversight of touring revenue, and enforcement of policies plaintiff was required to follow during his work with defendant. Then at the bottom it says, as an aside, according to accountant Doe and former manager Doe, defendant Fat Joe stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from Roc Nation and their CEO, Desiree Perez, when he accepted cash payments up to $500,000 for performances. Oh my God. He telling on everybody. Through performances he secured independent of Roc Nation. Upon information and belief, defendant Fat Joe's actions went against his agreement with Ms. Perez. And again, I think that he is putting that information out just to, stir up more drama. Because one thing your label is not going to do, they're not going to be just letting that money just slide away into the sunset and they're not getting a piece of it. Oh my God, this is a mess. Defendant Fat Joe, along with Torres, Joe Pretor, Morella, Slate Inc., Sneaker Addict Touring LLC, and Rock Nation created and sustained a deliberately exploitive arrangement in which plaintiff was systematically denied proper compensation, authorship recognition, and lawful recourse. Over more than 16 years, defendants collectively enriched themselves through plaintiffs' uncompensated labor, creativity, and professional contributions, generating substantial royalties, performance fees, and brand equity from which plaintiff received virtually no benefit. Additionally, defendant engaged in deliberate tax fraud schemes by submitting intentionally inflated and fraudulent income reports to the IRS, significantly overstating the actual compensation plaintiff received. This deliberate misrepresentation of plaintiff's income was designed to conceal defendant's extensive wage theft. Wow. Oh my God. Artificial inflate plaintiff's tax liabilities, expose him to unwarranted tax audits and penalties, and systematically obscure the financial realities underlying plaintiff's exploited labor. Oh my God. All right, you guys, I just wanted to give you guys a spoonful of what this lawsuit is. We will be reading this through. I have to get my hands on this, and I definitely want to read through this first before I post it online. Please stay tuned for the rest of this lawsuit, and I'm just going to do some quick shares. As you guys can see, screenshot this if you like. He's also talking about how he was forced to do acts on people. He's also discussing things that was done to him with the code name screenshotted right here. And again, this is from the diddydocket.com. Also, they're discussing something that happened with a minor person that lives in the Republic of Dominican. And like I said, you guys, this is a mess. We will definitely be coming back to go through this in more detail, in full. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of what's happening here. Screenshot this if you like. We will be coming back to read this in full. It is a lot of tea in this situation. You guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, be safe and enjoy your day. Bye, guys.